75% of the way out, you'll see an orange ribbon. That is 25 meters. So if you know your steps or paces to 25 meters, multiply by 4, you'll know what it is for 100 meters. Whew. So that's the first distance you'll want. The other will be the full length of the tape measure to 100 feet. Do it in both directions. So you'll pace it out, pace it back. See if you get the same number. If you're more than one step off, do it again. You want to make sure you're doing this consistently. So a pace is 2 steps. So you're always counting with the same leg. So for me, this is 1, 2, and you want it to be a comfortable step. You don't always want to be straining. If you were to do this all day long, you don't want to be taking an unnatural step because you'll be really sore by the end of the day. So you want it to be a very casual walking pace that you're doing this at. The trick is going to be you've got obstacles. A lot of times you're walking along through the woods, you're going to have trees in the way, you're going to have down trees, you're going to have rocks, you're going to have streams. There'll be a variety of things you're going to encounter. So how are you going to deal with that? You can't keep a comfortable pace when you're climbing over a tree. So how do you account for that?
You take steps, you count your steps going around it, like you move to the side.
Yeah, so maybe I can demonstrate what you're saying. So let's say, let's create a bigger obstacle here. All right. So I'm pacing along. Oh, I've only gone half a pace so far. One thing I can do is step aside, continue on a parallel course. So, see, so I have 1 step, so now I'm 1, 2, now I can go back over and continue with my 3, 4. Okay, so that's one way to do it. It's just a step around, stay parallel, make sure you're squared up well. What's another way you could do it? What if it's really big and you can't easily just step aside? What if it's a stream or a river you've got to get over? What do you do then? Oop. Give me my safety glasses. Good voices. What do you do then? Oh, this is on this one. Any thoughts? Just throw up your hands and you're done? How would you deal with that? You're in a field situation. You're in a crew. You're the crew leader. What are you going to do?
So if there's a stream or...
Yeah, so how are you going to account for that distance? Because maybe you're going to get across the stream, but it's going to be hard to pace it, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, kind of guesstimate.
You could guesstimate.
Yeah.
So sometimes what I do is I visualize my steps or paces, and I say, okay, that's about 1, that's about 2, that's about 3. It's not perfect, but it's better than not doing anything at all. And if you're going a long enough distance, being off a little bit isn't going to be that big a deal. So I just try to visually estimate. Find a point that I know I'll be able to get to, stop there, figure out how to get there, and then start from that point onward, as I was before. So it's not ideal, but you know, you do the best you can. So you try to be as accurate as possible, and you improvise as best you can. And just try to keep as straight as possible. So, and it also helps with your sighting compass if you can sight objects in the distance that you're walking towards. So often I look for a distinctive tree in the forest. Sometimes if you are open enough and you can see like the horizon, I'll look for distinctive things on the horizon to walk towards. So look for an object to walk towards. You don't want to be looking in your compass the whole time or you'll start tripping and running over things, right? So you want to be walking to an object, get there, recite for the next object, walk to that object, and do that way. That's the safer way to navigate through the forest. So, all right. So you're all going to do this. You're going to space yourselves out at least 6 feet. Don't step on one another. And I'm going to go talk to John briefly, and I'll come back. And by the time I'm back, I bet you'll all have your numbers worked out. So, all right. So, who would like to start? Awesome. Go for it. So just one at a time. Go. Do it at least once in each direction. If you're not on the same number, do it another time.
Amber, do you want me to film?
You can probably pause for the moment.
Okay.
Go straight across. You're doing a little here. There you go. You wish? No way. I wish. Yeah, pretty close. Yep, that was pretty good. All right. Ooh, I knew it. Right under the nose. More with your mouth, like very properly. Your bottom lip about. Like, yes, your mask on. Good job. Where was it? Like actual breast height.
That's weird though.
Awesome. Is everybody comfortable with where your breast height is on you? Okay, very good. All right. So, let me set this aside. All right. Next, we are going to measure diameters and tree height. So there's 3 trees. There's a lot of trees that are marked out here. There's 3 trees you need to find that are marked out here. The first one is this one with the blue and white stripes on it. The next tree has red and white stripes and it's back there. And then there's a third tree all the way back on the edge that also has red and white stripes. And on your data sheet, it says what color ribbon each tree has. So, you know, and they're all written on. They'll say tree 1, tree 2, tree 3, and SFR349 on it. So you'll know that you have the right tree because they're numbered and it has our class number on it, or course number on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break you up and have you take different trees to start with. And so you each have D-tapes, you each have planometers, so the big thing is going to be the tape measures. We only have 3 tape measures. We'll make this easy. Where's team 1? We'll start you at tree 1. And, oh, the other thing I'm going to give you. Then you don't have to have somebody standing together. And actually, once you find a good spot, just leave the tape measure right where it's at. Then you don't have to keep moving tape measures. Then it's not getting handled a lot. So once you find a good spot for your tree, just leave it there. And you can use the chaining pin to try to secure it. Okay. Team 2. There's 2 team 2s.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Your team, are you 1 or 2 of team 1 or team 2? So why don't you set up for the, so you'll all be on tree 2. And so you'll just do the tree height first. Maybe you can do diameter first.
Okay.
Okay. There's 3. There you go. Oops, I forgot your chaining pin, team 2. There you go. Chaining pin.
Are we on 3?
Team, I'm trying to remember which one is 3. It might be the red, the middle red striped tree.
The red stripe is 3.
Where they are. This is tree 1.
Oh, the red stripe tree is 3, but the blue stripe, smaller one, is 2.
Yeah, so you're looking for the red stripe.
Okay, the red one.
That they're just passing there.
Yes.
I'd say just stick with the team and watch, film what they're doing.
Okay. Wait and see.
So this is a tricky one. Make sure that you are nice and level. Yeah. And actually the tree's leaning just a hair.
Yeah. You saw that good. ID or anything? And it is 29.1. We could probably go a little bit higher, but like, I'm gonna do one too.
You guys okay with being on camera?
Oh yeah. As long as I don't break this thing.
So once you have your measurements, come find me and I will double check them. I have an answer sheet, so I know what all the solutions are.
Okay, sounds good.
Mine relatively straight back there too.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm like 28.95.
Yeah. Okay, so we have finish left to save. So we'll call it in the middle, 29. Which
So would you have
29.1.
And so to do his sorry, I didn't get your name.
Caleb. Yeah, what's yours? Trevor? Trevor.
It helps to do that behind your
And it's
back.
in Eastern White Pine. Say 29. Alright.
Especially because it's mixed in with a bunch of other pines.
How's it look? You got the full 100? I know where it is. Yeah, I can see it right here. Just gotta look different.
You just gotta look through.
I've never tried this thing. Yeah.
75 feet. Okay. So you go to breast height, you said?
Yeah, you took around this way. And then you go down. You press it. Huh. 124. I got like 113, but I don't know how accurate this thing is.
You don't have to seat your branches if you go over there with it.
Over there?
Yeah. You just need to. Does this work?
So if you turn it on, it should be on.
Yeah.
You gotta look through it. And what does it say right now? I might have to. Oh, let me see. I might have to clear it. It's on. Yeah, it's at 100 feet. So look at like breast height, and then press the button, the big circle button. Once you're looking at breast height, then go down. And once you think you're at the bottom of the tree, press it again. It should start like saying a percentage. What do you say? Yeah, I'd say like minus, what do you do, -5? Yeah, I got -5. Yeah, I'd say like 20, 118 maybe.
You can see way easier over there.
Yeah.
It's off
Yeah.
the scale on the right.
What?
It's off the scale on this.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
If you're
because
too
we
close.
have to.
So yeah, the nice thing about sitting at 100 feet
Mhm.
is you just do the math and then
Okay.
whatever that number is.
Otherwise, we have to like do a bunch of math. What'd you get?
I got 84, but I don't know.
Oh.
I can't even
I
see
see.
the actual tree
Yeah.
through it because it's just it's like a flake screen with
Yeah.
numbers. So I'm like, what am I looking at? I don't know.
What if we went like over here? It's right here.
That oak shape is the entire like blossom.
Right here, yeah.
There you go.
Now I can see like the actual tree. On. 100 feet.
Y'all are trying to get the height.
Yeah. It's a little difficult because we're just looking through the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm gonna go with like 118. You've been getting around like 120. So that one, just like on the percent side. And it's gonna be at 0 when you're at PVH. It's on the right side. But yeah, it'll be it's like a die with like two-sided numbers.
How are we doing?
Yeah. What you wanna do is like come down the breast height.
So you have about 15 minutes. I want you to get diameters on all 3 trees and at least 1 tree height. So this is probably just tree height. And then make sure you all get a diameter on all of the other trees.
How accurate should we be? Because we're getting like a couple different numbers with these tools.
Yeah, and it's a little bit, depends on, you're not all standing in the same spot.
Yeah.
Is one issue. So, yeah, you'll be off a little bit. One person's up higher, one person's down
Yeah.
lower. So, there's potential for error. So, and I've got the answers if you want to show me your, I want to see your answers written down.
I think I've had like I think we have to do some math though.
We were at 100 feet.
Yeah, so
So it's just
jot it down. Yep.
Yeah, so like around like 118 maybe.
ever seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
You know that scene when the journalist is like out in the
Go all the way back up and you take a deposit number and you add the negative number.
Yes, I mean, because of that. Yeah, so absolute value.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Alright.
hopefully everybody knows how to do absolute value. Last year I had two people that had no idea what I was talking about. What's the absolute value? I'm like, oh man, do they not teach you that in school anymore?
It's been a while
Am I that
since
old?
I've had them.
Alright.
So yeah.
Do you want me to check numbers? I'm happy to check where you're at. Alright, that looks pretty good. That looks good. That's pretty close. Alright,
You guys okay with the camera?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Do you want to do it?
Alright, let's
Sorry.
Alright, let's see. So we're looking here with one eye and then
Did you realize you just have the reverse problem now? Now you have a leaning tree that's leaning away from you.
so okay, so
So your best bet is to go perpendicular from the lean.
alright.
Perfect.
So like
Oh, I thought we wanted to get it from like where it was going to be highest. Is that just for the diameter?
The problem is that the base and the top of the tree are not in line with one another.
Okay.
So you want to be in a position where the base and the top are basically essentially above one another. The only way to do that is to be perpendicular to the tree, where they're essentially
Okay, that makes sense.
in the same plane as one another. Here they're in two different planes, the bottom of the tree and the top of the tree. The bottom is closer than the top is.
So you said,
Before,
like,
the
the
top
best
was
way-
closer than the bottom. So you want to make sure that the top and the bottom of the tree are within the same plane of one another as you're looking at it.
oh god.
Yeah, don't do it from there.
Okay.
We're struggling.
We're gonna
Do you want me
do
to
that
check
one.
your numbers so far on what you've got?
Yeah, I'm not sure I did the height right, but I mean, but I kind of didn't do the calculation, but I got the plus and minus.
Okay, tell me what that is when you've got it. All right, and then let me look at these two. That looks good. That looks good. Oh, let me look at this two.
So I think you should see more that way.
Alright. I can see it fine from here.
Here. So. There we go. Cool.
This one's 45.1.
So I think we're looking at 45 for the top.
Percent. And then
I'm going around with hand sanitizer.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep. 'Cause I know you're exchanging equipment, or even though everything was sterile to begin with, to try to keep it semi-so. Yeah. Do you have pockets? Maybe put in here.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
You've got more pockets.
Yeah, like, so when we're getting the percentages on the kilometer, so we get one looking at the top, and one looking at the bottom.
Yep, and then you
Then we add them.
yep,
Okay.
and take the absolute value. So
Okay.
take the absolute value of the negative % at the bottom.
Okay.
Add it to the top.
It's about negative 13% on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a little better angle. I feel a little better about the top and bottom being more above one another.
What did I say the top was?
45 degrees or percent.
You want some hand sanitizer?
Sure.
I'm going about. Hand sanitizer.
And I said negative 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah, now we need to get. Did you grab the bag?
They
with all the
just
other
finished this.
Yeah, it's
exercise.
on that pocket.
I was gonna say, or if you're done, can we take your tonometer?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got the height of this one. Or we have, yeah.
Okay. And everybody just hand sanitize, so you should be good there. All right. Okay, and just leave the tape measure. So that's that. And make sure you get all 3 diameters. You've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And be careful with the logger's tape. That's a little more sharp. So, just got a lot more metal
Okay.
to it. So, people have cut themselves with the logger's tape. So, the handy thing about it is it clips on to your vest, your belt. Logger's tape is sort of a variant of the D-tape. It's meant for people that are measuring logs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm like just struggling.
And I'm just wondering if you're on the right side.
Yeah, so I want this side, right? The.
Here, the side that says diameter on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna flip it over. I'm like, that didn't look right. And it's okay if it's upside down as long as you can read your numbers upside down.
Okay.
So we're at 8.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's always a good check, is it often does have diameter written on one side.
Okay.
And then diameter is in inches or feet?
It should be in inches.
Oh, in inches.
Yeah.
Except
okay,
for the one
cool.
team that has
Oh yeah,
the metric
it's not
tape.
inches diameter.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Knock out these feet.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 39.8.
The petioles is that's the tree.
Well, yours is short and mine's really short.
So we only need to get the diameter of these ones,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Do you still have the chronometer?
No, I gave it to our other group members.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something. I think shouldn't you be like more up here,
You're right.
Did you
Yeah,
wanna-
I do.
or like no, like stand on the
Oh,
other side of it?
yeah, you are.
That's easier to look at.
Pull that card. That was
All right, we're looking at 9.5.
okay. This is tree 3, right?
Yes.
walk around with it.
Okay, so like this is probably the highest point.
Yeah, I think so. Or
Yeah, I think this is the highest point.
well, it's leaning this way, so I'd say on the other side. It's like kind of leaning this way, so I'd say
So
like right,
like
a little more towards me. Yeah, right there.
okay. So it's like right below here. Do you want to hold one side?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think we have a.
I'll just hold it like where is this?
I'll walk around.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right above the gate.
Above. Okay.
Okay, hello.
We're back, sorry.
No worries. Alright, so this is going to be group 1 spot. I'll just briefly run down. Does anyone have, just right off the bat, any questions, concerns about using a prism? Anyone have experience using a prism or angle gauge? You guys are in the same group, aren't you? Figures, okay. Okay, so just quick reminder. You swing the prism, when you swing a prism, the prism forms the plot center and you move around the prism. With an angle gauge, it's the opposite. You are the plot center and you swing the angle gauge around yourself. With the prism, if it's completely offset, the tree's completely offset, it's out. If it's not offset, it's in. If it's borderline, that's when you measure. You measure to the middle of the tree, like not this middle, kind of like, you know, that middle. I wish there was a better way of saying that. Yeah, I think the number of borderline trees, I think, is indicated on your answer sheet to give you some guidance. Maybe not. Well, the borderline trees are generally marked. So in this case, there may be 1 or 2 other borderline trees. This is the one I did myself, so be gentle. But yeah, once I get everybody settled, I'll come back around, and groups 2 and 3, we'll go find your plot.
Yeah, we probably
This one is
Go ahead. Oh, you're getting poked in the eye.
Border trees are marked in the pink. Yeah. I will get group 3 settled and come back and check on you guys and see how you're doing. Group 3. You like the top border? Or the
Actually, no.
I know. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I couldn't find this one last time, so I just found another plot for the other group to do, and just like, yeah. So
In pink or blue? don't see any. You're kidding.
I was gonna say,
You're
maybe,
joking.
There's that one. There's the blue one over there.
I see.
yeah, I think
stripe
that
on here.
pink is probably. I don't think the stripe is.
Okay, anything.
Oh, that's the. Well, I hope Amber can do that better.
What about that one? So I'm guessing.
No.
No.
That one's definitely not. That's not even close. Okay,
It is the stripe.
it is the stripe.
Oh my god. We have one.
Okay, so 3 different types of flagging.
Oh,
Remember.
good.
Okay, so yeah, so it's. I think it's just that orange, with that candy stripe. You guys have the prisms.
So we measure the breast height of every in tree. No.
No, we're not measuring diameter.
Or we're
right
just
now.
getting
Counting
the number
how
of
many.
trees. Okay, gotcha.
So,
And that's also,
so that's the only borderline.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And how
No.
far are we going out to? Oh, thank you.
Sorry, no, you're like the 5th person that's asked me that question, and if I hadn't like written a short paper kind of answering that this summer, I wouldn't be laughing so much.
That's funny.
Basically, the beauty / frustrating part of variable radius plots is that there isn't like a set distance. Basically, the bigger the tree is, the farther away it can be from your plot center, whereas like the smaller it is, the closer it has to be.
Yeah.
So you'll see, like, I mean, this isn't going to be the case, but like, there's like a big old white pine over there that could be in, whereas this like decently sized hemlock that's significantly closer might not be in. That's
So-
not gonna happen right here. But
What happens if a tree gets in the way of another tree?
so you kind of have to do your best.
I see.
Move over to the side and see. That's where I like to say forestry is a bit of an art and a science.
Yeah.
Like the science is how you set up the plot, and the art is kind of like, okay,
Interpret.
this is the problem we're faced. How do we most accurately get around it?
Perfect.
So if there's a tree directly in line of sight, maybe to kind of rotate yourself around it so that you're still at the same distance from the tree.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right.
I think our start tree is going to be the borderline one.
Okay.
So then we can come back to it.
Yeah.
And we know where it is.
Do you want to each do a count maybe and
Yeah.
see?
Let's see what we get.
And then because we know that tree is the borderline tree.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect.
All right, I'll come back and check on you guys in a few minutes.
Okay. No.
Is that definitely a borderline tree?
That is actually definitely a borderline tree.
Okay.
Can you see inside?
You're
it?
gonna be on
Oh,
camera.
cool.
Can you see it through there? Oh, cool.
Kind of. That's amazing.
That's gonna be a good shot.
Yeah, cut my stupid fucking voice out of it.
Oh no.
My nails aren't painted. It's not
Oh
cute.
no.
Yeah, over here. Oh, you have make sure that you're rotating around the prism. You keep the prism over the spot, and then you rotate around the spot for that one. I'm pretty sure.
Is that the prism or is that the?
I thought that was yeah. You keep the prism over the plot center, and you rotate around it.
Okay, so we start there. There is none, no, no. That dead one. Okay, what? I just found another borderline. No, I didn't. I lied.
Is it almost borderline?
No, I'm just a liar. This is harder than it looks. Actually, this one looks like a borderline too. Okay, so one. And then that one behind it. So 2. That looks like a borderline too. What the hell? Oh, sorry. Okay, 3. Well, maybe I'm not doing it right. Accurate I am, but I say 12.
12. For the borderline tree. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh wow, you're right.
Yeah,
This
there's
is
a lot
difficult.
of freaking trees.
2, 3.
Some I just like literally skipped over because they're just too small and too far away that it's
Yeah, that you can't.
I feel like if it's smaller than what a normal tree size should be, then I
That
feel
is
like
out,
it's going to be out.
You're right, that is like a perfect borderline tree. Though.
Are you okay with the camera?
Sure. Zoom into me messing everything up.
Am I new?
No.
Definitely.
Yeah, 9. Definitely 10. 11. Those two overlap each other. I haven't done a lap around yet, have I?
Yeah, you're about to. Did you get like 12?
Oh, an amber. I got like 19.
19?
That looks like a border. Oh, that is the borderline tree.
You're a liar. You're
Yeah.
a liar, you got 19.
I got 19.
No way.
I don't know if I was doing it right either.
Yeah.
Some of them, like,
Yeah.
because like sometimes the tree's in the way and you think
Yeah.
that it's the same
Well,
tree.
I counted those two as two, like one in the front and one in the back, but because I think it's different trees. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're right. I did not do that, but you're right.
But you still got more than me. That's so funny.
Well,
Okay. We'll see. We'll see who's closer. Let's make bets.
cool.
I probably did it wrong, honestly.
No,
What
no
was the
way.
measurement that you got?
Oh, I got, sorry, I was like stepping
No,
on
it's
it.
fine.
I got 19 and a half feet.
19 and a half. Okay. Here, let me double check that. Pull it taut.
19 feet, 2.5 inches.
It's okay. You think he wants us to leave it there?
Probably. Just so like other groups it makes it easier maybe.
So,
Then there's that weird oh no, the U2.5, right?
huh?
Oh, we didn't do the breast height of that, that's why. 75 times the breast height of the borderline tree.
I like how she uses breast height instead of DBH because my other teacher used DBH and it got me so confused.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, what is DBH if you're saying breast height?
Diameter.
Ah, yes. Okay, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
7, 2. Let me do it again.
If you want to.
Understandable.
So we both got different numbers.
Like group of 10. We're both way off, aren't we? No way! That's kind of funny.
In a situation like this, I treat it like I treat DVH. So if it splits below, measure like individual trunks. So you said like was this in?
That was one. That was in, and then that was in.
So they were both in separately. Oh, okay.
Because I feel like this one was so close that it was in.
Okay, yeah, no, that's how you're supposed to handle it. But you said you got 12?
12, and
I
you
got
got
19.
19. And what, there was like
Oh,
15,
so double
I'm
counting
guessing?
that wouldn't.
Yeah, so I don't know what I did.
That wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have done
Okay.
anything.
Let me see.
Of course you have one.
Fancy.
This is actually Amber's. I don't have a 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, this one.
did you get?
Shit, this is hard. I got wait, the DBH. I said 7.2, right?
Okay, I also got 7.2.
So PRF is
Is 2.75.
so this is a 19.
The 19.25 is seeing if that's greater than less than or equal to the value that we get.
That's what I was confused at in class.
I'm gonna do this again. That was not right.
Oh, do we multiply this by 10 and then
I don't know. That's the one that I got confused about. So it's greater than the limiting distance. So, the measured distance is less than.
I lost count.
oh my god.
I get
Count
to,
out loud.
I probably take 4 or 5 of each plot. Just
That's funny.
that's.
Because the measured distance is less than the limiting distance.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I have that. No, I think that's what she, yeah, that's what she did.
What are the ones that sound like owls but aren't owls?
Morning does.
I got 13.
Ah, gotcha.
In the time before that, I had gotten 12. So
Okay.
I'll talk to Amber and see.
I definitely
So-
overcounted.
I might be a little confused.
Were you
about
counting snags?
Snags?
Dead trees?
Probably.
Or are there any dead
There was
trees?
a couple.
That might not actually matter.
That dead tree actually is in.
Okay, so maybe that's how I got. Oh no, I didn't count that.
I can try it again and see if I get another number.
I would say just try it again. Generally, if you're like 1 or 2 off, that's
Understandable.
yeah.
But for this, I'm a little confused what we have to do.
Sure.
Is that the multiply this by 10
Mhm.
and then divide it by 3?
Well, how many plots did you take?
1. So just multiply by 10.
Well, and then divide by 1. But yes.
Okay. So 120 square feet per acre. Is that correct? Almost.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that is correct for the plots that you took. Yep.
Perfect.
And then measuring the borderline tree, does that make sense?
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
we-
an in tree?
Oh, it's an in tree. We got the limiting distance. We
Nice.
got 19.8.
Yep. Okay.
And then
The measured distance 19.25, give or take.
or 19 and a half. Yeah. Ish.
What did you get for the DBH of the tree?
7.2.
And what was the distance to the tree?
19.25 or 19. that off?
No, I'm just trying to read
Oh,
Amber's. I'm just trying to make sense of Amber's key right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was definitely miscounting some of them.
Where did you guys measure to on the tree?
Oh, we measured to the base instead of the center. Okay, sorry.
I think
that was the problem.
Yeah, I think if you do that, I think it should like just be out.
So like it's just on the verge of like, I'm guessing it's like 19.7, right underneath it.
Yeah, I think like 19.8. But yeah. So.
Oh, so what happens if it equals the same amount?
Oh, it's less than or equal and then greater than, I think.
Did you get them in the 3-pack from Home Depot?
I actually went to the hardware store next to Hannaford's in Old Town.
Yep. That's where I get all my flagging tape from. So if the
limiting distance is equal to the distance to the tree.
I believe it's less than or equal to. So I think it's
Wow, you guys explain this way better than. You better mute this on the video.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah, I got 13. I know it's like 12, but.
yeah, but
I'm really surprised with myself Surprising.
Okay, so I think the next thing is going to be the navigation.
Are we not doing the other ones, the other clocks?
No, there's not enough time.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to give you guys an hour for the navigation, and that's like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Is it?
It's like 3:50 or 3:45. So yeah, we're just gonna. I think you guys got all the measurements you need. So I think we're gonna go meet kind of over by